Hi students, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? If you can see the screen, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Now, students, first thing, tomorrow the strategic case study exams are releasing, exam results are releasing for the previous student. So again on Friday, we may have another session on ratio. Students, initially we will go with the case study analysis in detail and then I will come to the subject analysis. So firstly, I need your patience because you may wonder why this guy is not going heavily. Honestly, strategic case study, as I told you, it's like the Bruce Lee's mind. You have to keep it like water. Anything can happen anytime. Students, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Dixita, can I get a Y in the chat box so that we can start working on the application? Yeah, I believe everyone is fine. Thank you. Yeah, now students, now I believe you have gone through this annotated version, and don't worry students, it's my point of view and you can add anything that you like because now you are in the strategic level. Now students, the best way to analyze the case study is you have to analyze from the news stories because you are in the strategic level. Now students, new rules require better reporting for a digital risk. Now opportunity. So can I write down here students, digital risk reporting, digital risk reporting, digital risk reporting service. Can we give digital risk reporting service? Can I get a Y in the chat box students if you are clear with that? Is there a opportunity? Is that an opportunity to give a digital risk service? Can I get a confirmation from you in the chat box? Excellent. Thank you. Yeah. So the second thing, students, now if you observe this digital risk challenge, the other challenge is students. Students, is my voice breaking? Can I get a confirmation from Khalid? Is my voice breaking? Rahul, is my voice breaking? Can I quickly get a confirmation from someone else? Time is going very fast. Taxila, is my voice breaking?
No, sir.
No, right? No, right, students, it's not breaking. So students, just check your systems. So let's go to this. So digital risk reporting service. Now this is a new opportunity for us. We can effectively give this. And the next thing is students, weakness. Now the weakness is you have to think in a 360 degrees. Lack of competence in digital risk. Because students at the moment, do we have a digital risk reporting service at the moment? No. So I'll write down here, students, internal controls. Now I'll teach you all how to write answers for case study. But internal controls, if you observe in the technical class, you have something called spam soap. That means students, segregation of duty, personal control, authorization, management control, separation, organizations, all these things are there, but in the exam, it's a little different. So lack of competence and the threat. I'll write down here, poor service due to lack of training in digital reporting. So students, these are the three possibilities that can happen. In the long term, this can become a competitive advantage as well. So can I get a double Y in the chat box, students, if you are okay with this balanced digital risk reporting? Because it's going to be a mandatory rule, and our clients specifically, because this is after the 31st December 2025, so we can effectively do the trial testing at the moment. So can I get a Y in the chat box, students, if you're fine with that? Are you clear with that, students? Can I get a Y in the chat box if you're fine with that? Yeah. Now, students, let's go to the next one that is called the steady demand for forensic accountant. So can I start with this, students? Can I get a Y in the chat box because I need your interaction? Okay, so let's focus on this. Now, steady demand for forensic accountant. Again, I can effectively say opportunity. Now, are we giving forensic accounting service that is reporting to crimes of accounting crimes? So forensic accounting service can be introduced, a product development. Correct, no students? It's a product development. Can I get a confirmation here? So that is one challenge. And then students, lack of staffs with technical competencies with forensic accounting. With forensic accounting. So students, one option is recruit. One option is recruit specialist. We can recruit specialist or train the interns. We can do internship and train them also. That options are there. Now, students, the next thing, let's be even direct and transparent. Now, the threat is students, poor forensic accounting. Again, poor forensic accounting due to poor training, and internal controls. Students, I believe this is fine for you all. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? Quickly, students, Y is a very important thing. Can I get Rahul? I believe you all are listening for this. Yeah, thank you. So students, I believe everyone is getting this clarity very clearly, students. I believe everyone is getting the clarity clearly. Now, students, coming to the bank security guards tackles the robber. Now, this is a threat actually. So I can write down here, death of a civilian. Students, just a civil person, can there be a death of a civilian during a clash? Can happen. Now, in this case, nothing has happened. But can there be a death of a civilian during clash? Of course. Death of a security during clash. Can that happen, students? During clash? Can that happen? Of course. And also, students, just to be very, very transparent, injuries, can there be injury, students? Can there be injury happening, students? Injury possible. So can I write down here legal risk? There is high chances of a legal risk. Are you understanding that perspective, students? Because it's a very, 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 very important and sensitive manner, because you know the country's rule that these securities can't use weapons. They have to somewhat handle them. So there are chances of a death happening, a security and injury happening. So these are the factors that you have to clear. So can I get a Y in the chat box, students? If you're fine with that, can I get a Y in the chat box, students? If you're fine with that, quickly. Yeah, thank you. Now, students, quickly moving to the Justice Minister denies that the police are underpaid. Now, let's observe here. Now, you observe, we pay a higher salary to our employees. So can I write down here, new rules pertaining headhunting. New rules pertaining what, students? Headhunting. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? New rules pertaining what, students? Headhunting. Can there be a new rules pertaining headhunting? High level possibilities, no, students? New rules pertaining headhunting and causing labor shortage that is also high level possibility that can emerge in the long term. Now, security camera, students, I can effectively say CCTV cameras getting hacked. Can there be a situation CCTV cameras getting hacked? And private images shared in internet. So I'll write down here, there is a cyber risk involved in this case, because the biggest challenge with this is, students, the confidentiality risk is there, because people will complain if the CCTV camera is revealing something that is not there at the moment. So can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Excellent, thank you. So students, you have to analyze from the current issue. Now, I believe this is very, very clear for the students. Now, quickly moving up, students, do you see a share price volatility? Because we had a 93, the toppest range, and currently it is 42. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students, if you can see this volatility? From $93, the share price is effectively going down to $42. Can I get a Y in the chat box? And the beta is 0.88. That means, students, this organization is effectively having a lower risk. If it is more than one, it's high risk, but the risk can be higher in case of any sensitive incidents also. So can I write down here 130? The share price is volatile. The share price is what, students? Volatile. And we have to manage the market speculation, the market speculation, and also specific risk, specific risk affecting the beta. Now, don't worry about this beta, everything. We will study that in detail. But are you getting the applied way of thinking, students? Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are able to think very well in this aspect? So these are the current issues from the pre-seen material. Now, students, do you observe that our competitor Broto is having a gearing ratio of 54%? Do you see that? And if you observe our company, students, we are only having 39%. So I can write down here the gearing level is lower compared to Broto. Correct, no, students? It is lower compared to Broto. I believe everyone is clear for that. And I'll just write down here, financial risk is less. Financial risk is lower. And there will be one question in the examination on financing decision. Please relate this detail to the exam question, because you have to remember that our gearing ratio is very less, and I'll just write it down so that it is very, very transparent and clear for you. It's only 39.82% today. And students, the loan amount didn't change. 2000, only the reserve amount changed. So effectively 41 to 50. So somewhere in that 40% we are surviving. Now, students, slowly going up the risk. I will do a class on risk analysis on Sunday. But if you observe SAEFWELL, now you observe this very clearly. Now, one thing, information security risk. The company holds files relating to security and strategic management of many large clients. Now, hold file. Now, students, did they mention anything with regards to cloud computing? Can I get a double Y in the chat box, students? Cloud computing, can that be an opportunity, students? Because can I write down here, students, cloud computing? Can I write down here cloud computing, students? Can cloud computing be an opportunity? Definitely. And here the threat is, students, I'll write down here, loss of clients' data in case of any issues, or within brackets, I can say any hazards like fire or something like that, or something like data formatting, you lose the data. So get that analysis properly, students. And we are an international company, actually. We are in 74 countries. So I'll write down here exchange rate. Now, exchange rate, I will do questions in the class. But can I write down here exchange rate risk? Can I write down here what risk, students? Exchange rate risk is also there. And the opportunities we have is hedging. Now, hedging, again, students, it's not the hedging what you studied in the textbook. This hedging is practical hedging. Hedging can be utilized. Hedging can be what, students? Utilized. Are you clear with that? Hedging can be utilized. And in this case, students, if you observe, another threat we have is high accountability industry. High accountability industry. I believe this is also very, very, very clear for you. And we have to have some contingency planning all. And the other threat we have is health and safety. Students, another thing is, students, I'll write down here, malfunctioning of devices. Can that also taking place, students? Malfunctioning of what, students? Devices. Example, students, now if you observe the security guards, they may have devices with them. Can there be a situation there can be a malfunction of the security guards' devices that will affect their process? Some thief is coming, the guards' items are not working. That is possible. And then, students, I told you the skill labor shortage is there. We are paying above the market price. They have clearly mentioned. So that is one thing. And this conflict of interest, the question which was asked by Khalid, actually. Now, if you observe, now see, CIMA company is also providing internal controls, because not only physical security, intelligence security also we have. Now, our organization's chief internal auditor is this one. Now, EY, let's assume you're working for Ernst & Young. Ernst and Young company's internal auditor relates to the Ernst and Young board of company. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? If you understood that Ernst and Young example or KPMG. Now, audit firms auditing, can the auditors do? That is the question. Are you understanding that challenging point there, students? I believe Khalid is listening. I'm telling about KPMG doing their KPMG audit. I don't think that is possible, students. I don't think that is possible because of too much of biasness will be there. So I'll write down here one more weakness. Transparency in the internal audit process. Since the company is having a direct contact. The company is having a direct contact with their own NED. That is the biggest challenge with their NED. So I'll write down here example, KPMG doing their audit. KPMG doing KPMG audit. That means KPMG company audit. Students, can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you got that point of view, students? If you got that point of view, because we are a specialist entity and we are doing our own audit is a big challenge, students, because this is having lack of control. Now you see, I will do one more class on Sunday on the board of directors analysis. We have one lawyer. Students, can someone tell me one of the biggest weakness we have in our board? What is the biggest weakness? I already written. No one in the board has a first-hand experience in the security system. That means, do we have any physical security in our company who has come from the scratch to a senior level? Now, did you see anyone who has come from the scratch to a senior level? Do you observe what I'm saying, students? Because there needs to be street smartness also in this industry. So I will write down a weakness. In the senior level board, there are no directors with specialized security knowledge, with specialized security experience, with specialized security experience, because knowledge can be easily acquired. Experience, students, comes from effort. So students, can I quickly get a double Y in the chat box if you are okay with this point? Because do you see, if you read this, you'll understand we have a lawyer, but do we have anyone with this specialized experience? I don't think we don't have anyone, because in an organization, we need to have one person from the grassroots information, because it will be very important for us. Students, integrated reporting. So can I write down here? This is tested in the examination. Integrated reporting section will be tested since we are not having any focus towards stakeholders. Because students, do you see stakeholders, have they mentioned anything? SAEFWELL is responsive, SAEFWELL is innovative, and SAEFWELL treats employees with respect. But what about the value for money for the investors? Are you understanding? So can I write down here shareholders' wealth? Students, shareholders' wealth is important or not important? Very important. And then students, national security, because national security is also important. No, students, general public, because a bank, everything, it's a part of a national security. So can I quickly get a Y in the chat box, students? If you are clear with this point of view, can I quickly get a Y in the chat box if you are fine with this point of view? Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much. Our mission statements. Now you see, focus on their core businesses, okay? But it can be more. Now, students, actually, this is the chart they always give in the exam. Now, students, physical security service. Now, my question to you, can there be artificial intelligence like drones? Can there be something like that taking over the physical security in the long run? Because currently physical security revenue is higher, but CCTV camera, everything can slowly make this physical security lower, and intelligence-led security will become higher. So I'll write down here, students, there can be changes. There can be what, students? Changes from from physical security services to what students? Intelligence what students? Security services. Intelligence what students? Security services. Due to development of technology. Due to development of technology, such as CCTV, drones, correct no students, CCTV, drones, biometric students, can biometric come in the picture? Of course, biometric. And then students, humanoid robots, can there be humanoid robots coming in the future, students? Maybe. So what happens is intelligence will come to a more detailed factor. So can I get a Y in the chat box? Can you remember, students, a digital risk reporting service, is that belonging to physical security service or intelligence-led service? Intelligence. So you understand there are more intelligence opportunities more in the market at the moment. Now, students, the next one, the training is important. Now, here they are telling about the training that is provided, effectiveness of training is provided. So, students, can I write down here a weakness? I can say lack of updates in the training process, and lack of test in the training process, lack of test in what, students? Training process. Are you understanding that perspective? That is one more thing. And penetration testing they can do. So I'll write down here an opportunity that they can do is white hat hacking. That is ethical hacking. White hat hacking into the systems of clients, into the systems of clients. Now that is also one factor. Fraud analysis, all are there. So can I write down here? Like I'll just mention here, they are intelligence led. They have that services, intelligence led services. Like I can say fraud analysis, because fraud analysis is a very, very important question. And I'll give you a wonderful question, students, on fraud, because I have found a good question, a good database. So they have, as working as a consultant in the intelligence, mystery shoppers are there, retail security, mental and health and emotional work. So I'll write down here, lack of prominence provided to mental and emotional health. Because physical health is different, students. Mental and emotional health is one more thing. So can I quickly get a confirmation from you in the chat box, students, if you are fine with that? That is an important thing, and continuous updates are important. And now I can just come to the area listed in the stock market, and I can effectively say 1991, and it is Balan. Can I write down here Balan? And then, students, I'll just mention here 460,000 security. 460,000 securities, and 74 countries. So just keep that in mind. Don't need to mug this up and write it down in the exam, but just get this point of view very well. And these are the other factors, how the market works on intelligence led, and the guards are working. And students, our industry analysis we will do today. And these are the perspective that is there. So these are the industry-wise perspective at the moment, but we have to be very focused on our business at the moment. And then another thing I'll just write down, so it's very, very clear for you all. Any questions you have in the SWOT analysis at the moment, students? Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? Anything which I missed, anything, students? So keep this as a SWOT. Download this, just take a printout of this, keep it somewhere, and you can update whenever you want. But one thing, don't focus too much of real life organization. Focus very much towards the company, what is given in the exam. Any questions you have in the students? Can I get a double Y in the chat box if you're okay with this SWOT analysis, students? If you're okay with this SWOT analysis, so that we can go to the business analysis and the industry analysis. So I'm coming to the business analysis. So I'll write down here business analysis. Yeah. Now, students, business analysis is very, very important to think. Now, understand it very well. SAEFWELL. Okay, SAEFWELL. We are providing we are providing services to, business, and it depends on what they do. Example, retail shop versus a bank. I can say bank is more sensitive. Correct, no, students? So common sense is very, very, very important. Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? Because this is very, very important. Companies now employ 22. Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. Now, in this case, you have to understand when you go to the examination, one thing very, very important. I'll write down here exam focus. Can I write down here exam focus? Yeah. Exam focus, always in the exam, consider the client profile. Consider whose profile, students? Client profile. Always in the exam, consider whose profile, students? Client profile. Can I quickly get a double Y in the chat box if you understood this point of view? Because this will result your examination results. Because if you just write down whatever the answer we are teaching in the classroom, you will have an issue. I may teach a question on bank. You may get another question on a hospital. The bank and a hospital, two client profile. Keep that in mind. The next one is industry application. Now, this time industry is a little bit tricky. Industry type, because very, very important. Now, before moving into the industry type, I have to give you an ideology of how we make a judgment on industry type. One is called complexity. Meaning is how difficult to get a license to operate a business. Example, students, if you are going to manufacture weapons, is it easy to start a weapon manufacturing company? I don't think so. You have to take license. If you are going to start an alcohol manufacturing company, can you start it in your home, or you need to have license? You have to have license. If you're going to start a hospital, you need to have a license. And then students, if you're going to start like aeroplane manufacturing, because anyone can't start aeroplane manufacturing, again, you have to have license. So students, complexity is how much the industry is regulated, Now I'll come to the case study. Now, in our case study, students, this industry, this security company industry, corporate security company, is it easy to start a corporate security company, or you need to have license? Easy or license needed? What do you think, students? Can I get your point of view? Is it easy to start it, or you have to easily get a license? What do you think, students? Can anyone start a corporate security company? Yes or no? What do you think, students? What do you think? Easy or difficult? What do you think, students? Can I please get it in the chat box? License is needed. So can I write down here? Highly regulated, and license is needed. Highly regulated and license is students, license is needed. Can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box? So high complex, not easy, high complex. If you want to start a restaurant, easy. Business registration, you get the business. The next one is orchestration. Now here it's a little bit of a confusing, or I can say gray area. Gray is a better term. So orchestration is how much there is a union among the market participants. So within brackets, can I write down here competitors? Now, students, for our entire childhood, we studied Pepsi versus Coke. Now, the ideology behind this is, yes, they are competitors, but did they allow third party? Did they allow a third party? Students, that is the question I am asking. Did they allow a third party? Can I quickly get a confirmation. Yes or no? Are they united as competitors? Did they allow another cola coming inside? I don't think. The answer is no. They didn't allow. They didn't allow. They didn't allow because they were dominating as a partnership. That is only called orchestration. Another example of an orchestration I can effectively give is Netflix. Now, students, Netflix, when I say opposite is Amazon Prime, correct, students? Netflix opposite is what, students? Amazon Prime. So directly they are united. They are united. They are united. So students, now coming to our industry, if you observe, there are only how many top 10 security company, like Big Four? Can I write down another example? Big Four. A Big Four accounting firm. Can there be an Indian accounting firm or African accounting? No. EY, KPMG, Deloitte, and PwC. So these are the Big Four. So can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are clear with this point of view, students? Can I get a confirmation from you all? So this is the idea. Now, in this case, you observe how many top 10 security companies are there? 10. Now, of these 210, 3 are dominating. Broto, CIMA, and Grover. Now, Grover information is not given. Correct? Did we get any information with regards to Grover? No. Broto is there, SAEFWELL is there. And SAEFWELL and Broto almost are going with the same point. And here they are having small, not very small, but still it's in billions. It's in billions. But you see, they have specialized services. So can I write down in this case, each company has its own uniqueness, and limited to only 3 main players, and others are small, but only limited to 10, but only limited to 10 in total, only limited to 10 in total, only limited to 10 in total. Students, can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are clear with these industry types? Can I quickly get a Y in the chat box, students, if you are clear with this orchestration part? Now, farmers in India, is farmers united? No, farmers are not united. Everywhere they will go on strike. They are not forming a union. That is the thing. Now, let's come to the types so that it will be very easy for you. Now, students, one thing is complexity. So I will initially write down here complexity. Complexity. Low complexity. And here it is what, students? One is low. Here what is the, students? Here it is high. Low, high. Again, low, high. But in this case, I'll write down here, instead of complexity, I'll merge this, and can I write down here, students, as orchestration. Orchestration. I'll give you real life examples and then let's do this analysis point of view. Now, it's very important for your thinking. Now, so what do you know? What are the challenges we are having? We have to think in the business aspect. Now, very high, and competitors are united. We call this as lion's pride. You need to invest in these companies in stock market because risk is extremely low. So I'll make it as green color, lion's pride. And students, I'll give you an example. Boeing and Airbus. Boeing and what, students? Airbus. Students, Boeing and Airbus is the only players in the world to have this lion's pride sector. So can I quickly get a confirmation from y'all in the chat box if you are fine with that? Can I get a double Y in the chat box if you are fine with the Alliance Pride business sector? Can I get a Y in the chat box? Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, the next one. The next one is going to be the Shark Tank, the right opposite of this. Shark Tank. The color of this is red color because bleeding. It is purely bleeding. Red color. It's bleeding, very bad industry. Farmers. Farmers is one. Then students, I can say coffee shops. Everywhere the coffee price is same, no students, you don't have any differentiation, anything like that. So in this case, if you invest students, anyone can start a business, it will fall. Another example, restaurants also students. Now you see restaurants, anyone can start, no students, and you see most of the failure business model is the restaurant, tough and failure. Now, can I get a Y in the chat box? I believe these two are opposite, right? Opposite. One is high and high, one is low and low. Now, the complexity is low. Government rules are less, but domination by the competitors. So we call it as wolf gang. Wolf gang. Example, Pepsi and Coke, Facebook, Instagram. Now, students, Facebook, Instagram is wolf gang. Correct, no students? Government rules are very less, but Facebook and Instagram is effectively dominating it. Then students, we have something called hornet nest. Hornet nest means very difficult to get it, but orchestration is very low. Example, students, 5-star hotels. Now, 5-star hotels, if you observe students, they don't directly compete with anyone, no students. They don't have connection also, right? But very difficult. Another one I can say is students, university. Every university is different from each other, but very difficult to get the approvals. Another one is hospital. Everyone is unique from each other. So students, in our case study, where does our company fall? Now, here I mentioned hornet nest. And if you observe in this case, if you observe here, someone mentioned wolf gang also. So Proto Security Company is one of the 4 companies based in Balan. So only 4 companies are there in Balan that offers physical security services and intelligence-led. Like here, it focuses on security and does not offer other types such as facility management. CIMA and Proto frequently compete for the same assignment. Now here they are competing frequently for the same assignment. Now, if you see wolf gang means only 4 are there. Hornet nest means they differentiate it. So in this case, I can effectively say the complexity is very high. Competition or union is not so high. So can I effectively say we are in this region of a hornet nest and a wolf gang? So our industry is somewhere in between hornet nest and what students? Wolf gang. So what I can effectively do is I will effectively put a circle like this. Do you feel this, students? Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students, if you are able to see this, students? So can I write it down? S or SAEFWELL. So we are SAEFWELL. So we are in this case. So can I quickly get a confirmation from you all in the chat box, students? We are somewhere in this sector, but the challenge in that sector is it's like this. It is like this. Can I get a confirmation here? I'll just take it out. I'll put it here. Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? So we are hornet nest because very high to get it, but not Lion's Pride because we are directly competing, switching. Because the issue is CFL and Brito frequently compete for the same assignment. For the same assignment. For the same assignment. Are you getting that point of view? Because Boeing and Airbus doesn't compete for the same. Because if you see, Boeing will effectively focus on short distance. Airbus will be always focusing on long distance. They have come to that aspect. Are you understanding that perspective there? Can I get a Y in the chat box, students? Because you have to understand, Lion's Pride means they are united, but they don't compete directly with each and every client. Are you getting that point? Can I get a Y in the chat box, students, if you got that point? Because compete for the same assignment. So the biggest challenge for us is if we make a mistake, our competitors will capitalize that mistake. So that is the idea. So remember the summary. You have to be sensitive with the client profile, reference material in the exam. Now, students, the golden rule, you ask from anyone, whatever I teach is for learning. But in the examination, what effectively matters is, students, can I write it down here? reference material. So can you write down here, students? Reference material. Reference what, students? Material. Can I get a confirmation from you all in the chat box if you are getting this aspect very clear of this reference material, students? Your presence of mind, you need to empty the cup and go to the exam day. Your mind should be free and only focus on the exam data what they are providing you. And be little bit patient till this Sunday class, because I teach very slowly. And once this is done, you will get all the revisions, recap everything. But the first step is conditioning yourself as a senior manager in this organization. Now, as a senior manager, you know the biggest challenge associated on our business is the accountability challenge. Because students, I'll just highlight certain things so that it is very, very clear. This depth is a very, very important thing. Correct, no, students? Because it will directly go to the media, especially in a first world country. They are very, very sensitive with this people, because even if a thief comes to your house, not like in Asia, you can't hit the thief. You have to just wait until he takes everything and go outside the house. And then you have to inform the police, and then the police will catch him, because you don't have the rights to attack another human being in these countries. And it is mentioned also very, very well in the materials. Okay, so I'll come for the one-to-one discussion. Anna, madam, any questions for the day? Dixita, any questions for the day? Mr. Khalid, any questions for the day? Mr. Rahul, any questions for the day? Taxila, any questions for the day? Dixita, any questions for the day? If you have any questions, please do let me know, students. And students, little be patient, aggressive patience. I know you are having a confusion from MCS to SCS. What is this guy is doing directly analyzing this? Yes, I'm directly analyzing this because the exam papers are very much strategy oriented rather than technical oriented. So thank you very much, students, for your aggressive patience. And on this Friday class, we'll do the calculation, the financial analysis. On the Sunday class, we will do the risk analysis and governance analysis. Thank you, students. Take care, students. Good night, everyone.